Hello everybody and welcome back to another retro recap. Rob here with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the Atari 2600. I just got done mastering this about a week or so ago. Tough game, and I'll go into that in a minute, but let's just talk about the achievements. Most of the achievements are straightforward. They're either score based or move left, move right, avoid obstacles, all pretty easy. There is one in particular which I'm going to show you my run through for that. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This game was developed back in 1983 on the Atari 2600, made by Wizard Video Games. You play as Leatherface, which is that character in the middle there, with a chainsaw sticking out of his body, same color. And you're going to use that to murder trespassers that are on your property. You're also going to avoid obstacles such as fences, wheelchairs, cow skulls, brambles, all different types of stuff. You're going to control Leatherface moving right and left. The objective is to chase down, kill victims. There's female victims in this. There's no male victims. It's only female victims. And you're going to move right or left to get that done. Up at the top, you have a little house with a truck or whatever. You can see that Leatherface is off-centered there to the right a little bit. And that's going to prove important during this gameplay because you're going to be closer to the right side than the left side. So that helps with a little bit of fuel usage, which brings me to the fuel. So the fuel slowly goes down as you play the game. If you rev your chainsaw, the fuel goes down faster. You only get 3 fuel tanks, which serve as your life. So every time you're moving, using your chainsaw, your fuel is going to go down. The thing about this 30,000K achievement is it's not that it's a challenging achievement, all that, I get all that, but for the mastery, it's not really that fun. And I can tell you why. There's RNG involved and there's time involved. And you combine time with RNG, it makes achievements not really that fun because it can be super frustrating if things don't go your way. You also do need to use a little bit of skill to get this done too. So it's skill, RNG, and time. Combination of those 3 things can make people really frustrated on this. You could probably see it on this game if you go to some of the forum and some of the posts on it. People will get all the other achievements for this entire game, but that 30K will just drive them crazy. I personally know I ran this for to get the master. It took me about 6.5 hours to get this. And in that time, I've only gotten this once. Then I went and ran it another 6.5 hours trying to find any technique possible to help you guys, like going right, going left, revving the chainsaw in different ways, doing different things. Tried all sorts of different things to help you guys to try to get this a little bit easier. And I can tell you, I haven't found anything. I haven't even been able to recreate this run again. Luckily, I recorded it, but I've never been able to recreate this run again after 14 hours of gameplay. And after 14 hours of gameplay, I am finished with this game. I'm like putting this one to bed. I'm going to move on to something else. If somebody knows other tips and tricks to get more fuel usage out of anything or any other way to get fuel, please let me know in the comments. But I'm going to show you my run and my tips on how I got this run done and what I would do to kind of get this run done, and then just hope for the best because that's all you can really do for this achievement. So I keep the decibels way down on this because there is a high-pitched beeping noise on this, and I will turn it up a little bit in a minute here. The reason being is that the victims are supposed to be screaming, I guess. That's what the high-pitched noise is supposed to be. And you can keep the sound up for that. I actually did this run with no sound because I was just like so irritated by the sound. It's just obnoxious high-pitched beeping. In addition to, the chainsaw is just revving and stuff. It's the sound is not all that great on this game, especially the high-pitched noise. It's like mind-numbing how piercing it is. So let's go ahead and get this video going. I'm going to turn it up right here at the beginning just so you can hear how high-pitched it is. But, so if you want to turn it down, please do so. I will turn it back down so you can just a little sample of what it sounds like. I'm still keeping the decibels down, but I just wanted to show you exactly what it sounds like as much as possible. So when you start the game, you want to go right. You can hear that piercing scream right there. Your chainsaw is running. You're going to go right. And then as soon as you get to the victim, I would switch over to the left. There's about a 70 to 99% chance they switch over to the left side. They rarely ever run into your chainsaw. It does happen, and you'll see that in this run that they do just run into my chainsaw. You can't really do this without a couple of them running into your chainsaw, but most of the time they're going to flip to the left side. When they do that, you're going to want to flip either your joystick or your D-pad to the left side immediately, don't hit the button until you know for sure that chainsaw is going to hit that victim. You hit it too early, the chainsaw is going to run. It can flip back and forth a couple of times. You can miss them, and then you're out of fuel. You're going to run out of fuel quicker. So you want to hit that chainsaw button right within a pixel about what that space is right there on the screen, or when the chainsaw's over them is when you're going to want to do it. So you hear that noise of them dying, screaming to their, death. And then you're going to keep going right here, trying to go right as often as you can, because even that 1 or 2 extra pixels that you're moving to the right is reducing your fuel usage. So you want to keep going right as much as possible, especially on these first 2 boards. Every 5,000, oh my god, and turn it back down again. Super annoying. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. Your fuel usage is going to continue to go down. At 5,000, you're going to get more fuel. Your fuel gets increased more and more as you go throughout the game. The further you get into the game, you can get more fuel. So there is a possibility to get some runs that you could get a lot more than 30,000. It's just getting to this 30,000 that is just really, really tight. And I don't really feel like an RNG-based, time-based achievement should be for masteries, but I still got it done. But I'm saying if you're willing to take this on, that's all on you. It could prove to be really daunting for you if you do decide to take this on and you don't get the achievements that you want right away. You could never get this one. I know if I would have hit like 14 hours on this game and I never got this, I probably would have just left it alone and came back to it maybe in like a while and try again. But it was getting super frustrating for me. So here we're at the end of what I consider like day 1. Your fuel is always going down. So no matter what, the first phase is always going to eventually run out at some point. If you can make it to 8,000, 9,000, you're going to be in real good shape here. Anything less than that, you can still go on if you're quick enough and you get good spawns and all that stuff. But here you can see that I'm at 8,000 with just a little bit of fuel. So what I want to make sure I want to do here is I really want to make sure I'm over the victim on this last victim. Don't rev too early. Make sure your chainsaw is over the victim because you want to get that last 1,000 points. So you got to have a little bit of patience there. So there I got 9,000 on the first board. That's really good. I've never gotten 10,000 ever because it's just that tight of fuel usage. If you do get 10,000 on the first board, then I think you're going to be in a godly shape and you're going to should easily be able to get 30,000 because you get additional fuel at 10,000, and then that would push you further into the first phase of the board and you get more points, and you could take that on to the next board and the next board. So if you get 10,000 on the first board, you're really, really lucky, and that's pretty insane. I think I saw one like speedrunner or something did it, and it was crazy, but I don't understand how he did it. Just luck, I guess. So now we're on the second phase, and here we are going into 10,000. Once you hit 10,000, the game ramps up. It goes much, much faster. Things are going to be coming from the right and left. You can see I have brambles there. If you hit those brambles, you're going to have to use your chainsaw to escape from those. You definitely don't want to hit the brambles. You can hit wheelchairs, you can hit cow skulls, you can hit gates, and still get this achievement because I've done it on this run. I hit a couple of wheelchairs, I think. But you don't want to hit the brambles. The brambles are going to use up your fuel really fast. That one just ran right into my chainsaw. Got kind of lucky there. Trying to stick going to the right as much as possible, but now I'm just starting to do a technique which I just call the switchback. You just switch back and forth. I stay at the top and I try to get victims to spawn in at the top, because sometimes when you go down to the bottom or you go down in the middle, you're going to get hit by like a gate or you're going to get hit by a bramble. Very easy to get hit if you're not in the right lane. Whenever there's a victim in a lane, nothing else will spawn there. So if you're chasing a victim, you don't have to worry about getting hit by anything, but you do want to just chase them down as quick as possible. But sometimes what happens is you'll go to chase them down, they'll disappear real quick, and then a wheelchair or something or a bramble will hit you. So here we're at 15,000. We got a little bit more fuel once we get to 15,000, and you want to get through this board with, I really recommend like 18,000, or 19,000 if you can. Sorry about my dogs barking there. You hear that in the background? They're goofballs. So We're going to keep going, and hopefully, I believe on this run I get 18,000 total. Here I only have, you know, a couple bars of fuel left. Want to make sure I get this last victim, so I'm going to make sure that the chainsaw's over her first, and then I'm going to use it on her. Apparently this game was like a banned from a lot of stores and stuff because of the idea of killing victims with a chainsaw. So now we're on board 3, and we're going to get to, we're at 19,000 here, and right at 20,000 is your next really crazy increase. You're going to see the game after this point, you're going to see the game ramp up like crazy. Things are going to come in much quicker from the right and left. You can see things are just cruising by. Here I got really lucky, and this is where the luck kind of RNG kind of comes into play. So you're going to want to flip back and forth, make sure your chainsaw is over the victim, hit the button right when the chainsaw is over the victim as much as possible to not get any excess revving on. But you're going to want to continue to go, this is how I got it. I was up top, and I kind of realized that if I stay up top, sometimes I would get like multiple spawns of victims in the same lane. So I would stay up top here, and you'll see it. I think I get like 5 spawns in a row up top, which is, you're not always going to get this. Sometimes you get like 3, and then, you know, you get hit by a wheelchair or something. But you can use a switchback technique where you move back and forth as quickly as possible. There, that victim kind of got away from me a little bit. So even that little bit, you use up fuel, and that's where it's just like, oh man, it's like, can't even get this because I'm just using up all my fuel. And they're really annoying because they'll do that over and over again. Sometimes you can get them right away, and sometimes you can't. So I think right now, so there's a bramble there. You can see I'm about a little less than half fuel, and I'm only at 24,000, but at 25,000 you do get more fuel. So here I kill this victim, get that fuel back, but you're also still not at, you know, full fuel where you should be. So there was a victim on the right I kind of missed. If you get that one, that's great because it's less time. But I found if you kind of stick to the right, keep using the switchback technique and get them to spawn up top like that over and over again, you can get really lucky. And it's more of just how fast you can kill them up top. I mean, I spent hours and hours trying different techniques. I just couldn't get anything to, you know, work easily. This is a really hard achievement to recreate. I'm at 20,000. I just took a hit from a wheelchair there. I'm probably like, oh, this is, you know, this ain't gonna happen. And luckily I had that last spawn in. And this is a good run. Like, this is like, there's nothing, like, I couldn't, skill wise, like, I don't think you can really do, you could probably, I mean, obviously you could get lucky and do a little bit better, but overall this is like where you're gonna be at. And if you get this achievement, you're gonna be this close to like losing your fuel. So at this point I'm just trying to get anything to spawn in. So there I have 2 bars of fuel left, and right there I have 1 bar of fuel left, 29,000, 1 victim left. All I have to do is hit that victim. So this is where you have to use a little bit of patience and know that that victim is probably gonna flip over to the other side, and to know to use the chainsaw at the exact time that I hit it, right? That's the most important thing here. So here she flips. I'm like, son of a bitch, this is my only opportunity. I knew that if I didn't get her here, my run shot, got to start all over again. You know, 6 hours later, I just happened to hit her there, got the chainsaw god. I was like screaming, yes, finally. Now the game keeps going. You know, there's my run time at about 6 hours and 14 minutes. So you can keep going and keep getting more score. I tried to get to 35,000 because I knew at that point, I'm like, okay, well, I got 30,000. So now I'm going to try to get 35,000. See, hopefully if that makes anything easier once you get to 35,000 and you get more fuel, which it might. I think you get more fuel at 35,000. So you might be able to keep the game going a little bit longer. So that's why you'll see scores go from like 34,000 to like 44,000 to like 60,000, because like you can keep utilizing these same things and you'll get more fuel in your arsenal for the end game. But getting to that 30,000 is a real struggle. So here I'm just trying to go back and forth, trying to get spawn ins. I got a couple on the right there that I could have probably taken advantage of, but it's also really scary going to the right, because if you don't do it fast enough, you you're going to get hit by something if you're not going to switch back quick enough. And there it is. You have they come and they kick you in the pants. That's what it says in the instruction booklet there. By the way, if you have this game in your basement, or it's an old game you have the hard copy for, keep in mind the hard copies are going for a lot of money right now on eBay. You can get anywhere from about $300 to $500 for old copies. I've seen them go as much as $8,000, $9,000. I think there's one on eBay right now, but it's like mint condition in box. It might even be sealed. I didn't really look at it, but I saw there's one listed for that right now. So if you do have an old copy of this, keep in mind that people are looking for original copies of this game. It is a classic, and like I said, there wasn't a lot of them. It wasn't run a lot, so that's why they're more valuable. They didn't really do well on the store shelves because of all the murdering and that stuff. But I just want to get this guide up and show it to you, and maybe hopefully help some people get their mastery. I know there's not really much more here to offer than some gameplay, but I really did try to figure something out to make it a little bit easier on you guys to get this achievement. But it's just not one of those achievements that's that fun because of the RNG and time factor. Just two things that I just don't really like in achievements. But so I got lucky and got it, and I wish you the best, and I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you guys will all get it. And if you do, let me know in the comments. If you know of another tip or trick to help you get it, let me know in the comments too. I'm always down for increasing my score. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just want to get it up, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.